With more and more custom work being done around the house, I got tired of using a handheld router to get the job done. So in today's video, I will be using the extension wing of my table saw here to build a router table. This will save me some space into the shop, which is already limited. And also this table saw is sturdier than any router table you can get out there. The router that I'll be using today is a Porter Cable 890 model. This router comes in a kit with two bases. It comes with this plunge base that I'll be using when the router is not mounted into the router table, and it comes with this fixed base plate that has an adjustment knob right here, adjusting the height knob, and you can control this knob with this wrench that also comes in the kit through the top of the table like so. So we will be mounting this fixed base plate to this router plate. I chose the Pro Plate Group A made by Rockler. This is the one that fits my Porter Cable 890 model. So in case you want to use a different router for your project, just make sure that it comes with some sort of a base that you can adjust the height from the top, and also make sure that the plate you're getting is the plate that fits your router. If you want to save some money, you can also get a blank plate like this. In that case, you'll have to center, align, and drill the holes yourself to be able to mount the router of your choice. So I'm starting by using my table saw fence to make sure that the plate is square. Also, I measure the distance from the plate to the edges of the table to make sure that that's equal on each side. And with the help of some scrap pieces of 3/4 inch plywood and some double-sided tape, I'm going to start laying out my template. At this point in time, I'm going to have to move the fence over. Once you have your jig set up, it's time to adjust the depth of cut on your router. We will be using the router plate, and we'll be adding this thickness of the plate to the thickness of the plywood. So this way, when we're done cutting, the top of your router plate will be flush with the top of your table. To set the depth of the cut, I'll be using a caliper. So I'm putting this plate right on top of the ply right here, and then I'm going to be using the caliper to measure the depth of cut. In this case, we have just a little bit over 1 inch. For the plate cutout, I'm using a 3/4 inch top bearing mortise bit. This is a 3/4 inch by 3/8 depth of cut bit with 1/2 inch shank. I'm using this 3/4 inch bit because the plate has 3/4 inch roundovers, so this will take care of those roundovers also. Next step is to adjust the plunge of your router to the measurement you've taken. I'll be using a drill and a jigsaw to finish the cut. With the cutout done, I used some sandpaper to knock down the sharp edges of the laminate left by the router bit. Let's check out the fitment of the plate. Absolutely perfect flush with the top of the table. Okay, we will be mounting this plate next. The screws that came with the plate were a little small to my liking, so I'm going to be using bigger screws to hold this plate down. And also I'm going to be using some nuts all the way through the table. With the plate completed, I will be installing the fence next. For this project, I'm using a Pro fence made by Rockler. I will post some links in the description below for some of these products I'm using in this video. The screws holding the fence down are 3/8 carriage bolts. So for this next step, I'll be using a 3/8 straight bit in my router, a piece of plywood with some double-sided tape as a guide to cut the channels that the screws will ride in. With one side down, I will be repeating the process on the other side. To install the fence, I'll be using these taller fence knobs that I got separate. These are easy to grip fence knobs, 3/8 by 16 thread. These are way taller than the original fence knobs that the fence comes with, so it'll make my life a lot easier into adjusting this fence. Okay, so fence is all done, it's all put together. You can see how much easier it is to use these taller knobs compared to the short ones where you have to reach behind the fence to adjust it. The last step will be to install this combo T-slot miter track, and for that I will be using the table saw fence as a guide alongside with my router to cut a 1/2 inch deep channel to fit this track. With the track cut to length, it's time to finish up this installation. Time to install the base plate of the router. To be able to turn the router on and off without reaching under the table, I installed one of these safety switches. In case of an emergency, you can tap this to stop your router. I installed a 1/4 inch roundover bit into the router, and now I'm going to be using the wrench that comes in the kit to see how the lift works up and down. Let's check it out. That's for going up. Let's test it for going down. Dust collection, it's pretty decent considering that there's no dust collection box underneath this table. That was one of the things that I was really curious about, to see how well this dust collection port on the fence will work. I'm definitely looking forward to be using this table on the projects I have coming. If you guys have any comments or suggestions or questions, please post them in the comment section below. I will try to answer as many as I can. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please give it some thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.